What's up, lovely people? Welcome back to Freebirddiaries. In today's video, I'm gonna speak to you about the basic touring setup of my Interceptor 650, and hopefully this should also be the most cost-effective way. So let's start off from the head of the bike, starting with the Cree fog lamps. I have a 6 LED and 90 lumens Cree fog lamp, which I paid 4,750 for it, and I mean, it was a bargain. It was a cheap bargain because I got it from a friend of mine who owns this shop for accessories. I shall give you the link of the shop in the description. There are options like the 4 LED, 6 LED and the 9 LED. I think the 6 should do a very good job because the throw of the light in absolute darkness is pretty good. Obviously the headlight on the Interceptor is not that great and the lumens is pretty less. However, I think with the addition of these Crees, it makes a huge difference when you're riding on the highways in the dark, or rather when you're going on back routes or the state highways. Next thing which I'm going to talk to you about is the headlights, and this is again not a branded one. It is something which I bought off the internet for 3,500 bucks. Does a pretty decent job. The only thing that you need to see is all these needs to be plug and play and no wire cutting, because that would void the warranty of your bike. Now coming to the most important part for protecting your bike would be the crash guards. I personally like Zana, which is pretty well renowned, and I have the Zana crash guard, which you can see in the video. They are approx, so I bought the saddle stay and the crash guard for around 5,000 bucks from one of the dealers in Bangalore. Now you can avoid the saddle stay if you know that you're gonna only travel solo. You can buy your tail bag, but I have the Rhinox dry stacks, which is a saddle bag, and because of the motion I would prefer having a saddle stay which keeps the bag in its place firm and tight. Now I think something which Royal Enfield really needs to look into it, because considering the fact that the Interceptor is a premium bike, they should have had inbuilt hazard lights, which has come out with the BS6 variant of the Himalayan, which is a really nice upgrade. Good job for that. But because the Interceptor does not have it, I have a Novatronics relay, which is again a plug and play, and the best part about this is you don't need an additional switch for it, because your indicator, you just press it in left and right and then your hazard light is on. And then the fact that it's very easy, no additional switches to occupy space on your handlebar, gives you more space to actually incorporate more equipments. Then I have a basic USB charger. I made it a point to put a 2.0 output because that's just the USB cord, so any chargers, like for my phone, which is an Apple, I just have the cord which I need to carry. Saves a lot of space, and definitely just plug it in, put it in your tank pod, and you need to forget about it. The next thing which I have on the handlebar is my camera mount. It's a GoPro mount, handlebar GoPro mount. Again, I bought it off Amazon. It does a pretty good job, although yes, sometimes the Interceptor does not have much vibrations, but the roads, we can't comment on them. So because of that, I think there tends to be a little bit of vibrations. Even with the video stabilization on, you do get to see the camera move a little up and down, but however it does a pretty good job on the highways. And it's a 360 swivel, so you can face it towards yourself, or you can face it towards the road or your colleagues who are riding along with you. Now coming to the navigation system, a lot of people have a lot of opinions, but I personally have the Maximus Pro, which I picked off Amazon. I shall share the link again in the description. The Maximus Pro is a pretty decent and small compact device, which is right here. Okay, It is easily mounted onto your handlebar with a clamp which comes with the Maximus Pro, and this is the screw on. It's a single screw on and screw off mechanism, which makes it very simple. You can leave the holder on your handlebar. However, when you're stopping for a break or you're going in for your lunch or this thing and you need to park your bike outside your line of sight, you can just unscrew it and put it in your pocket and walk off. Coming to the chargers, the cables that I use are simple ones like these. So it's just got a USB plug point there, and then this is for my Senna, which I use on as the intercom device. I use a SMH10. Now personally I like small neat wires. This obviously I can connect it to that and then plug it into my Senna and it's when the charge is low. The charge lasts pretty long, but the longer you ride, the more music you tend to listen, or rather I tend to listen to a lot of music when I'm riding, um, at a safe level, not too loud, mind you. And the charge tends to drain off, although it lasts better than the Chinese products. If you're investing in an intercom, the basic necessity would be an SMH10, which does the job of covering almost 900 meters in radius, and it can connect up to 4 devices. For the navigation system, since it is on the handlebar, I just use this wire. This is of my JBL Bluetooth. So it's again the same USB format and the same plug point, but you can also use the charger that you get from the Senna, because it's the same pin. Okay. But personally I like it little more neater and less cluttered, so that's what I use. Now coming to the helmet, I use a Shiro. It's pretty light and it's really durable. I've actually switched from an MT to Shiro. It sits tight, it sits snug, and does a pretty good job. Only thing I would say is the ventilation system is a little bad. So if you have like a skull cap on, or if you have probably a bandana, it does a good job any which ways to absorb the sweat. Otherwise, yes, it does get a little hot inside. Now moving on to my intercom system, that's the Sena SMH10 which I have. This covers, like I mentioned, 900 meters in radius and connects 4 more Senas, and it can also connect to any other Chinese intercom. However, it probably connects only to one, because when I went on my ride, the 2 other friends had an RX7, which is a different intercom system, and I could only connect to one person. And recently another friend of mine has another Sena SMH10, and what happened there is I could connect to that Sena, I could connect to another Chinese, and I could connect to another Sena. So it was pretty nice. When you speak, it's a one tap jog button, and this is your volume button, and inside you have a boom mic, and obviously the basic setup of the Sena. Your support is our motivation, and do press the like and subscribe button if you did enjoy this video. Coming up, the next video on my channel would be part 2 of our coastal ride. This would be from Pondicherry to Thondi, which was actually supposed to be Rameshwaram, but due to some unforeseen reasons, we had to take a stop at Thondi.